Iraq Economic News and Points to Ponder Sunday afternoon, the 12th of January 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Al-Mandlawi. The House of Representatives seeks to resolve controversial laws and enhance oversight to combat corruption. Political. The 1st of December 2025 Mawazin News. Baghdad. The first Deputy Speaker of the Council of Representatives, Mohsin al-Mandlawi, affirmed today, Sunday, the commitment of the Council Presidency to complete controversial laws during the coming period, calling on the representatives to intensify their oversight efforts to combat corruption and protect Iraq's capabilities. Al-Mandlawi explained, in a statement issued by his media office and received by Mawazin News, that the launch of the first legislative term of 2025 represents a decisive opportunity to improve the Council's performance in the areas of legislation and oversight. He stressed the importance of deciding laws that serve the people and achieve their aspirations. He added that the parliamentary committees have been directed to intensify their efforts to complete important draft laws and activate the oversight role in a way that contributes to undermining opportunities for corruption and preserving Iraq's wealth. He also pointed to the need to enhance transparency by hosting officials to discuss challenges and find solutions to problems that hinder the implementation of public policies. Al-Mandlawi stressed the importance of coordination with the executive authority to accelerate the completion of legislation that directly affects the lives of citizens, and to support the government in implementing its electoral program, while improving communication with citizens to convey their problems and follow up on their solutions effectively. Currency smuggling. The central bank punishes 10 Iraqi banks due to violations of foreign transfers. Today 1414 Information, Baghdad. Representative Bakir al-Saadi confirmed today, Sunday, that the Central Bank of Iraq issued sanctions against 10 Iraqi banks due to violations related to the foreign transfer file, which has become a direct threat to the local economy. Al-Saadi said, in a statement to the Al-Maloma agency, that the file of smuggling hard currency outside Iraq is still a source of great concern. Amid multiple question marks about the mechanisms for implementing these operations, especially with the continuing investigations into exchange offices and banks committing serious violations in foreign transfers. He added, the sanctions issued by the central bank against 10 banks so far come within the framework of reducing violations related to foreign transfers, which are considered one of the most prominent methods used to smuggle currency outside the country. Al-Saadi pointed out that currency smuggling has serious effects on the local economy and causes an increase in financial crises in the country, pointing out that most of the transfers that are made for the purpose of smuggling go to one of the Gulf countries, which requires serious reconsideration and the establishment of strict measures to stop this ongoing bleeding. The representative stressed that the Iraqi financial institution is working seriously to address this problem by setting new determinants and re-evaluating the tools used in financial transactions, with the importance of revealing the results of investigations to public opinion. Ended, 25F. Financial Advisor. ASYCUDA system boosts international trade, reduces corruption at customs ports. Economy. The 1st of December 2025 Mawazin News. Advisor to the Prime Minister for Financial Affairs, Mazhar Mohammad Saleh, stressed today, Sunday, the importance of adopting the ASYCUDA system in the Iraqi Customs Administration, pointing to its role in reducing delays at border crossings and enhancing international trade. Saleh explained that the ASYCUDA system, developed by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, since the 1980s, relies on modern digital technology to simplify and accelerate customs operations. He added that Iraq is implementing the second generation of this system, which relies on cloud technology to provide comprehensive automation of customs operations, including data recording, fee assessment, customs clearance, and records management. He pointed out that the implementation of the system comes in line with the government program to enhance non-oil revenues to reach 20% of total public revenues, explaining that joint cooperation with the United Nations aims to improve customs control and collection systems and control import and export operations according to the best digital standards. Sala revealed that the General Authority of Customs and the Border Ports Authority completed the implementation of the system during the past year, while providing a high-quality digital infrastructure to develop customs work in 2025, stressing that this system contributes to reducing corruption by reducing human interaction and adopting full automation, which increases transparency and supports efficiency. He explained that ASYCUDA enhances international trade by accelerating the customs clearance process and reducing administrative barriers, in addition to providing a comprehensive database that supports economic and trade policymaking, pointing to its role in improving border security by tracking and inspecting shipments more accurately to combat smuggling and illegal activities. Sala concluded by saying that ASYCUDA represents a vital tool for achieving a balance between facilitating trade and protecting borders, stressing that Iraq joins a group of Arab countries, such as Jordan, the Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt, that implement this system in customs ports in an integrated manner. Iraq surpasses Saudi Arabia in oil exports to America. Energy Economy News. Baghdad. The U.S. Energy Information Administration announced today, Sunday, that Iraq has surpassed Saudi Arabia for the second week in a row in oil exports to the United States. The administration stated, in a table reviewed by Al-Iqtisad News, that the average U.S. imports of crude oil during the past week from 10 major countries amounted to 6.016 million barrels per day, an increase of 251,000 barrels per day from the previous week, which amounted to 5.765 million barrels per day. She added that Iraq's oil exports to America reached 180,000 barrels per day last week, down by 32,000 barrels per day from the previous week, which reached 212,000 barrels per day, thus exceeding Saudi Arabia, whose exports to America reached an average of 69,000 barrels per day. The administration indicated that the largest oil revenues for America during the past week came from Canada at a rate of 4.422 million barrels per day, followed by Mexico at an average of 392,000 barrels per day, then Venezuela at 253,000 barrels per day, and Brazil at 233,000 barrels per day. According to the table, the amount of U.S. imports of crude oil from Nigeria amounted to an average of 192,000 barrels per day, from Ecuador 147,000 barrels per day, from Colombia 72,000 barrels per day, and from Libya 56,000 barrels per day. 125 billion dinars revenues of the Iraqi Islamic Bank. Bank's Iraqi Islamic Bank announced its financial results for 2024, which showed positive performance in a number of key indicators, as assets rose to 2.65 trillion dinars compared to 2.2 trillion dinars in 2023, representing a growth of 20%. Credit also witnessed a significant jump, reaching 934.9 billion dinars, compared to 637.5 billion dinars in the previous year, an increase of 46.6%. In contrast, deposits declined to 751.2 billion dinars compared to 1.19 trillion dinars in 2023, a decrease of 37%, while revenues increased to record 175 billion dinars compared to 132.9 billion dinars, representing a growth of 31.6%, which was reflected in profits that reached 86.5 billion dinars after they were 76.6 billion dinars in 2023. An increase of 13%. Chinese ambassador. $50 billion is the volume of trade with Iraq and dealing in yuan is in its initial stages. Economy, 11:56 The 1st of December 2025 Mawazin News. Baghdad Chinese ambassador Kui Wei confirmed today, Sunday, that the volume of trade cooperation with Iraq during 11 months reached $50 billion, while he indicated that dealing in the yuan between the two countries is in its initial stages. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.